Well, it's time to bring it on with the email questions that you've sent in. And Pat, this first one is from Lisa, who says, many people think that this person from the Long Island Medium Show can actually talk to your deceased loved ones. She's coming to our city. My own daughter thinks she's the real thing. I want to show her in the Word where this isn't possible. It doesn't seem right to me that this person has the gift to connect to the spiritual world. Please tell me what the Bible would say about this so-called gift.
Well, it's pretty explicit. You know, in the Old Testament, they were to burn mediums in the fire. Where did they get the information? They got them from demon spirits. And that's where it comes from. Either that or they're faking, and a lot of it is just fake. Mm-hmm. It's easy to fake it. Here's a quote in the King James from Isaiah chapter 8. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and mutter, should not the people seek unto their God for the living and not the dead? And I think the idea that the dead are going to give material to you, but in the Old Testament, they killed them. It was that simple. Mm-hmm. Because they were in touch with demonic. They were called necromancers. They dealt with the dead. And this Long Island medium, boy, oh boy, your dear daddy says the following. So much of that is a fake. I don't know whether she is, but, you know, if she's not fake, she's in touch with demons. They're not talking to the dead people, all right?
Exactly. This is Madeleine Pat, who says, why does the Bible say Jews are God's chosen special people when most of the Jews I know aren't Christian and deny Christ's deity? Also, if Jews are God's special people above others, how do I become a Jew so I can be special too?
Well, first of all, we become Jews. We are grafted into Israel through the blood of Jesus Christ, who was the Jewish Messiah. And, but we become part of Israel. But why are they chosen? They were chosen to receive the oracles of God. The Old and New Testament has come to us through the Jews. And the revelation of the God of the Bible comes through the Jewish people. That's why they're chosen. That's what they were chosen for. But unfortunately, because of that, for them, they have been persecuted like crazy. They've been persecuted and driven by the devil. The devil's tried to hurt them. And I know there are many Jews that say, if it's just the same with you, I'd rather not be chosen for this honor because they have suffered so much. But that's what it is. It's the revelation of God, and the oracles of God were entrusted to them. All right.
Okay, this is Raymond Pat, who says, why is the Federal Reserve not owned by the people of the United States?
Well, there were some people who came over from Germany, the Warburgs and others, who really wanted to have a national bank, and the control of our currency is a big deal. And the big people, the big finance people, got together and went down to Jekyll Island in Florida, or off the coast of Georgia, actually. And there was a man from the Rockefeller interests. There were others. J.P. Morgan's people were represented, and Nelson Aldrich Rockefeller was another. And these people got together, and they said, what we're going to do is to set up a bank, and it will be owned by shareholders, actually. It isn't owned by the government, and the Federal Reserve is it's federal, but that's just a name. It is a bank that is owned by other banks, and the other banks are stock company banks. And it was a great scam that has been perpetrated on the American people. And if you go back and start looking at our currency, since the Federal Reserve was formed, the dollar, the value of the dollar has gone from essentially 100 cents down to about 4 or 5 cents. Wow. Over that period of time. And we've had successive inflations and problems. But the whole idea was to control the commerce of our nation in the hands of a few. And it is amazing that it is a secret organization. The books, I don't think, have ever been audited. And it controls the money supply. But look in your pocket. You don't have a pocket. Let me get you a pocket.
I'd rather have your money.
I have a pocket. Well, I'll give you $1. Would you please read what's on the top of that?
Well, you're asking me to do this without my glasses.
Well, without your...
Federal Reserve note.
That's right. Does it say anything about gold?
Not a thing.
So if you don't like this piece of paper, what do you do for it? you can exchange it for another. And what's the other going to say?
The same thing this one says.
It used to be,
right?
they used to say redeemable in gold. It's now a Federal Reserve note. They print our currency, ladies and gentlemen, and they fund the Treasury. The Federal Reserve buys bonds from the Treasury, and they give them this stuff. This is all paper. It's just Federal Reserve. It depends. That's what it says. Federal Reserve note. Okay.
Unbelievable.
It's one of the most incredible takeovers that has ever been known, and
and that few really even know the origins.
Oh,
of.
yeah, and you know, but it happened during Woodrow Wilson's administration, and those guys went to Jekyll Island, and there was a financial panic, and they thought this is the way that we're going to keep people quiet. And it's well, there are many, many people. If you call for the breakup of the Fed, then everybody thinks you're some kind of a screwball. But nevertheless, we've had massive inflation, continuous, and now they're in hock. They have borrowed an incredible amount of money. I don't know if it's up to $3 trillion or so. It's huge. But the Federal Reserve Board, to my knowledge, it's never been audited, and there are many in Congress that try to do it. You know, Congressman Ron Paul made a big deal of it, but nobody paid attention to it because they're so powerful, and they have got control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's all the time for today. Good question, Raymond, can I just say.